Hello, Jill. Hello, Jack. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Genevieve. And I don't know whether James is joining us or if it's. Yes, and James. Hey, guys. Okay, Annie and I are battling a little stomach something or other. So I'm going to let you do most of the work today. Has everybody got a stick? Let's do a stick form. Jack, why don't you lead us?
Okay.
Okay. James, was this your first time doing this routine?
Possibly in public, but I've watched the tape a few times.
Okay, so you had some background. So you did pretty well the first five moves or so. Move six and move seven are quite difficult, and they're even difficult to watch while you're doing it because you're doing such peculiar things. If you stick with the class and keep doing this, then we will spend some time working on these moves. We'll do some training sessions on this all the way through. So what we might do, excuse me, what we might do is do some training sessions on say Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll do other things too. But then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll just do practice days. So we'll see whether this you want to stick with this, and if you do, we'll do some training stuff. Okay, go ahead and put your sticks away. And has everybody got a short stick? Okay, Jill went to fetch hers, I think. Let's just start with a little qigong. And reverse. And shoe circles. And reverse. And pink circles. And reverse. So that's the same routine in a way. That's the same routine that we do with the bigger sticks, the walking sticks. Um, but obviously the circles are much smaller. The question is why? Why, Jill?
Is the stick shorter?
Well, that's certainly true. Right? What's the difference between doing a circle like this and doing a circle like this? They're the same circle. You're using the same energy channel. So what's different? Anybody? Catherine?
Well, I'll just give my 2 cents first,
Yeah.
but Uh, I think you can feel it better when it's smaller. I
Now,
don't,
what do you mean? What do you mean? Feel it better?
it feels like in a larger circle, it can get lost in translation.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It can get lost in the physical.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get more involved with the, like the large movement.
So when you're doing it small, then what are you paying attention to?
You're
You
gonna be,
notice
yeah, it's gonna be closer to your dantian.
closer to your Dan-Chen, yeah. So it's closer to your energy body. It's a very gentle, right? It's not big and physical, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just different, right? So the large circles tend to be more like Tai Chi. Not always, but basically. The smaller, gentler ones are more about your energy body. Catherine, any comments?
I agree with everything Jill said. No, but I was going actually to give the same answer about when it's small. I'm definitely paying more attention to almost all every point on the circle that I'm drawing. Definitely can get lost very easily.
Yes. Good. Those are excellent answers, guys. That's exactly right. Let me tell you about the first time I pushed hands with Grandmaster Feng. All right. It was a very short little demonstration. So we were all in a workshop that he was holding in Santa Cruz. He'd come to the United States, and there must have been 150 people there, other than Master Zhang and Master Feng. Anyway, I come up to do push hands with him, and um, he said, lay your hand, your arm, on my arm, right? And he said, now, very slowly, very gently, push. Right? And so I did. And because we were going very, very slowly and very, very gently, I was able to hear inside not only my body, but inside his body as to what was happening. Now, what was happening was no big deal. What the big deal was the perception of it. All right? So I made a little move like this, and he made a tiny little turn with his arm, just like that. And that tiny little turn neutralized my incoming energy and diverted it in another direction. So I guess I could have continued the push, but it wouldn't have done any good. All right? So the real push was about 2 inches long. And I doubt if anybody else in the crowd really saw what was going on, but it was that perception. So there is a real utility in moving very gently and very slowly and paying attention to what's going on inside. And reverse. Okay, let's do a couple other exercises. And James, I don't think you've done any of these exercises, so just follow along as best you can, all right? So let's take both hands and move them to the middle of the stick. And the object of this, James, of all these exercises is you have just a very light grip, but you want to keep your grip on the stick. You don't watch this hand here. You don't want to do this, right? You want to keep your grip on the stick, all right? So your grip, the less flexible your grip is, the more flexible your core must become, all right? So Let's do it just on the outside here. Hold on a minute. This working with the stick is about developing articulation and flexibility in your core, not out in your hands. The trick to doing this is to keep your grip, and that will force your core to become more flexible. It's fine to roll the stick in your hand, but just don't let your hand come up like this, all right? Keep your grip. All right? And now you've got to use your core to make this work. So you're coming up, going down, coming up, going down. Now, one of the exercises that you can do with this is really about building your grip. All right? So now you do it hard. I do it hard. Your stick should be getting hot. All right, and they have very formal ways of doing it too. We'll add that in. But what we're going to do today is really just focused on the core here. All right. Let me change my. So between the Tanzhong and the Daimai, or the Dantian. So lower back, you're in your lower back. Now come up into your chest and back down to your lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. Chest, lower back. Now, that's not the only thing happening inside, but that's the main thing. That's what drives the stick, not your hands. Okay, that's the stick work. Here's the Tai Chi move. Right here. It's the same move we just did with the stick. Right? Lower back, chest, lower back, chest, lower back, chest. All right, so it's exactly the same move. The advantage of doing it with the stick is it forces the movement, if you do it correctly, it forces the movement into your core. Okay, let's go on to a new move.
Malcolm,
Yeah,
I have a question.
yes.
When I was practicing the other day, I was inadvertently sometimes starting in the Tanjong and sometimes in the Mingmon and reversing it on the same exercise. Does it,
Uh-huh.
is it wrong? Does it make any difference?
Show me what you were doing.
Well, so it could be like Tanjong, Mingmeng, Tanjong, Mingmeng, or it could be Mingmeng, Tanjong, Mingmeng, Tanjong. I didn't realize until I noticed that I was sort of reversing it in the middle of the exercise.
This particular exercise to me is about using your core like a whip. All right? So you're going like a whip. Punch, punch. So the whole body is going in a spiral, and then you're going from your Ming Men in the back of your Dantian up into the Tanjong. Jill, do you understand? Okay. So I'm not quite sure how that would work out with what you're talking about, but the idea of, say, reversing things and seeing what happens is a great idea. When you practice, don't just do it out of the manual, so to speak. Let yourself be imaginative and inventive and see what you can come up with. One of the points about doing this the way that I'm talking is you've got to get your chest out of the way. Right? When you come back like this, and then you sink. This dropping into your Mingmen gets your chest out of the way, and also drives that punch. But if you had a different purpose, maybe just the opposite would be working for that, right? And almost all of these uses or patterns in the energy body can be used in either direction. So what you just outlined, Jack, under the right circumstances, absolutely, you probably could use that for something.
Because I've noticed that some joint locks,
Yeah,
the direction is just what we're talking, it's different. So sometimes it might be down, or sometimes you might come up on the
oh,
joint.
absolutely. All right. Sometimes you've got somebody's hand, sometimes you're pressing down. You can also press up, right? How do you decide what to do? It depends on your opponent. If your opponent is above your dantian, so their hand is up here like this, you might be better off just going up than trying to force him down. But if his hand is below your dantian, you're probably better off just going down, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So it's about what's happening in the moment, right? All right, let's at least introduce this other move. You see my arm? See how the arm is on the stick. It's not like this. It's on the stick. And it stays on the stick. All right, so where it's touching here on the wrist. And it stays on the stick. Stays on the stick. Okay, so this one where I'm standing up a little higher is more like a Qigong. It's about doing the pattern, but it's very light. You're not in a deep horse stance. And then the more Tai Chi way of doing it is when you get down in a horse stance, all the way down to your knee, right? On your knee. Right, so we'll pick it up there again tomorrow, but you should do an hour of that every morning or so. It'll help work your abs out a little bit. That's one of my favorite exercises in the whole series. Okay, guys, we'll pick it up there again tomorrow. You all have a great day. Ciao.